All right, now that you've got your Total Gym all set up, it's time to learn our starter exercises in our starter program. We're going to just take you through each one of them individually and make sure you're comfortable with every exercise.
Right, and for the starter program, you'll need your squat stand attached and the wing bar attached. The squat, you got to be able to do the squat to get some great results. It's awesome for the buttocks and the thighs. Now to get into the squat position, you'll notice that Rob sits at the end of the bench, and then he's going to place his feet on the squat stand with his toes hanging over the edge, because you're going to want to press through with your heels. Relax back, slowly bring your body down to a comfortable position for you, and then press back up. It's that easy on the Total Gym.
Absolutely, such a great exercise. Gets every part of the lower body, getting those hamstrings, glutes, and quadriceps. Wonderful exercise.
It really is, and that's how simple it is to do. Now to challenge yourself, lift one leg to go for a single leg squat. So you lift one leg and you can either raise it above the squat stand, or you can bend it and place it on the bench underneath you. But you'll definitely feel much more of a challenge when you're working one leg at a time.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and go on to the next exercise.
Great. One of my favorites, work in the back with the lat pull-up.
So you can see that Rosalie moved the glide board up, lowered her body so that her chest is right at the top of the glide board, and she's ready to work that back. And I'll tell you, the great thing about doing pull-ups on the Total Gym is that everybody can be successful. It's so wonderful to shape that back. It really helps give you a nice tailored look to your upper body and really trims your waistline in.
Right, and I definitely recommend this exercise for women. Women, a strong back looks fantastic. Plus, it's a big muscle, and if you're interested in getting big calories off your body, you want to include your back work. Now, the next exercise goes back to the legs.
So you notice we just pop up from that one. Go ahead and again move that glide board all the way up to the top. Grab onto that wing attachment, sitting up at the top, turning those feet out so that the heel comes between the gap. I bring my heels right on in, and then I just stay seated for two different types of leg curls.
Right, and what you're going to appreciate about this leg exercise, it not only works the legs, but it works the abs, especially in this position. If you find this exercise too challenging, you may want to hang on with your hands on your thighs or on the bench itself. Or you may want to try this exercise lying down. There's less ab activation in this position, but again, whatever feels most comfortable to you is the position you should choose.
Yeah, and this is just, again, a great leg exercise for the back of the legs, which really helps to shape those glutes too, or those buns. So we really want to work that part of our body. And just make sure when you're doing this exercise that you just maintain nice posture and pull right on up and take it right back down with slow, controlled movement.
Right, matter of fact, this is one of my favorite lower body exercises. The next group of exercises on your starter program, you'll be removing the wing bar attachment, and you'll be hooking up your cables. So all you need to do is hook it up underneath the bench, and you're ready to go. Now,
Wonderful.
The first exercise, work in the back again, and notice I'm going to cross my cables.
Yeah, so as she crosses those cables, she goes right into a cross cable row. And this is such a great exercise for the upper back. So we've got those pull-ups for the back that work down the lengthwise. Now we're really hitting the middle and upper part of that back with such beautiful arm movement. And then it's so easy. All we'll do is put our feet back down onto the ground and reposition those handles so we're nice and steady. Turn our palms up, and we're ready to go with a bicep curl. And on this bicep curl, she's just bringing that right upper arm, keeping those elbows low, the chest lifted. And again, great bicep exercise, but also a great core exercise.
It really is. Again, those two upper body exercises are a must if you want to see some great results on your Total Gym program.
Now for the next exercise, we recommend lowering it. This is a pretty tough exercise, so I just go ahead and pull out my safety hitch pin and then grab onto my rail, pull out the latch, as you know, and lower it down. We'll come down just a level, and then I go ahead and stick that safety hitch pin right back in, and we're going to go right into the outer hip and thigh.
Right, and this, matter of fact, is the reason why I got my own Total Gym over 12 years ago.
Wow. So you'll notice she just put her feet right onto that cable, and she's just pushing her legs out. Great exercise for the outsides of the thighs, that area that we all want to really hit. But again, here's the big thing. Look at her posture, sitting up nice and tall, really using those ab muscles, those oblique muscles, the ones on the side, and her back muscles to have good posture as she works the outside of those thighs.
Right, really, Rob, whenever we're using the cables, our abs are engaged.
Absolutely. And now the next exercise, which is one of the favorite exercises for anybody who plays tennis, golf, or just really wants to have a beautiful trim midline.
That'd be me.
You can take the handles, and you have a couple of choices. I'm actually going to do this with just one handle. You can use one or both handles. Both handles will be more difficult. I'm going to step over my glide board, or I could have walked around the tower. Just have a seat at the top. I take both hands onto that one handle, and now my focus is not to move my arms, but to move my torso and just twist my body right around with that nice oblique twist.
Right, when I'm doing this exercise, I think of keeping my buttock cheeks weighted equally on the bench. So that helps me to stabilize. But this is a fantastic exercise to really help tighten up the abdominal wall. And again, you have to do this exercise not only facing one way, but also facing the other. And to do that, Rob's simply going to just switch out his cables. But we want to note that if you use both handles at the same time, both cables, this is a much more challenging way to do the exercise.
Right, this almost doubles the amount of resistance or intensity to that same exercise. The thing that I like to recommend when you're doing this exercise is if you use the front handle one day, the next time that you work out, use the back handle, because you get a different benefit by using different handles.
Right.
Want to go straight into the chest press?
Let's do it.
All right. So again, this next exercise, we're going to sit at the top. The handles are just underneath the arm, so you notice that she has her handles underneath her arm, and then she's going to press those hands straight out in front of her. Now Rosalie's, again, like she talked about with the cable, sitting with beautiful posture, and she can take her arms directly out in front of her shoulders, bring them in a little bit, or take them wide. All just different variations of that nice chest
Right,
press.
so you could do a narrow press, you could do more of a medium press, or you could do a wide press. So there's just so much variety with your Total Gym program.
Beautiful. And then straight from there, we're going to actually lie down onto our Total Gym. So you'll notice we just slide down. Again, now we want to be low down on that glide board. Arms come back overhead, and we're going to do the arm pullover. This is a great exercise for that back muscles. Also really focusing on a lot of different muscles working here. And if we want to just add on to this, all we could do is add a crunch into this. So you'll notice as she pulls her arms over, she also brings up her head and chest, taking this great exercise and giving us even more of an abdominal crunch into it too. It's just a wonderful exercise.
And if you want to advance this move, you can take it here right into your full sit-up. So that's an option you can do as well.
Yeah, beautiful. And then, again, one of the things that I love about working on my Total Gym is how easy it is to transition from exercise to exercise. Keep the flow going, keep your heart rate up while you're working out. So what we'll do next is go straight into a tricep extension. So just going to bring our elbows down by the rib cage, palms facing toward the thighs, and pressing straight down toward the thighs as she really squeezes the back of the arms. And we all know that's a trouble area that we want to focus on. So this is a great exercise to really hit those triceps.
It really is. It's a great exercise for men. It's a great exercise for women. And if you want to add a little bit of an abdominal challenge, lift your feet off the bench.
Yeah, every time you take those legs off the bench, you're going to really feel that in those abs. So great, let's go ahead and come out of that position and show you just a couple more exercises to finish our starter program. Now again, this is that basic program that should get you comfortable with your Total Gym. You've got a lot of different programs that came with your Total Gym and a lot of different workouts, but this workout particularly is one of our favorite workouts to get us started and get you comfortable with the Total Gym.
Right.
So Rosalie's going to demonstrate how to put your wing attachment on the bottom.
Make sure that the wings are facing down, and you'll notice I'm sitting on the bench and I'm pushing the bench away, so this gives me a clear sight so I can just slide those pins in. The first exercise I'm going to do works the shoulders fabulously. Again, I'm going to put my chest right at the end of the bench and my hand grip is wide.
Now you'll notice as she presses her body away, she's keeping her neck, keeping her entire body in a nice neutral, beautiful alignment position. She's coming down and then just pressing away from that wing attachment, keeping her chest lightly on the glide board.
Right,
Beautiful.
and to get into the next exercise, it's so simple. To work your core, you're going to tuck your knees in right to the end of the bench. Make sure your shoulders line up with your hands, and you're just going to gently press away with your buttocks, and then you're going to tuck in with your abs.
And so this is called the core extension, and you'll notice, I mean, look at how much she's working with that core, using that core as what it's really designed for, as a stabilizer to our body. Beautiful exercise for the core.
And if you want to advance the move, simply come up onto your toes and just let your knees hover over your bench. So if you're more advanced, you can go ahead and give that a try.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so those are the exercises that we'll be doing in the work-along workout. So now that you're comfortable with each one, you ready to do the workout?
I'm ready to work out.
Me too,
All
let's
right.
go.
From there, I'm going to lie down and do my first exercise, which is a really nice exercise for the hamstring. So I'm just going to extend my leg up and gently press down. So this is an awesome exercise for the back of the leg. Another exercise that you can do with your leg pulley attachment is work the inner thigh. To do that, you just need to rotate your body forward and come onto your side. And now you've got a great inner and outer thigh exercise. So pull down, and it really works the inner thigh nicely. Great. The last exercise that you can perform with your leg pulley attachment, you're going to place your abdominals down on your bench, so rotate around, and now you've got a great exercise for your hamstring. So a nice exercise for the back of the leg. And these are the 3 exercises that you can do with your leg pulley attachment.
We get right into position, and the first thing we're going to do is just do a pullover. Now, since we're starting, I want you to do it with a soft elbow, just keeping that lever a little bit, or the arm a little bit shorter, so you just feel nice and comfortable there, and that looks excellent. You'll notice as she goes through these that her back's not pulling away. If you want to intensify it, you can lift your arms up. And remember, you are always welcome to lower the level between the series. So you're around 3 or 4 while you're pedaling, and then when you go to your strength, you go ahead and lower it down. How many is that so far?
That's 8.
8, excellent. Our goal is somewhere between about 12 and 15. Keep it flowing, keep it moving, working strong all the way through. That's looking great. Notice how she moved her hair to make sure her hair is away from any of the moving parts. How many more?
3.
Okay, 3 more. Keep going strong. Now after this next one, we're just gonna add a crunch right on into this exercise. So let's do 1 more. And then on the next one, she just comes up with that crunch. So you'll notice that her head and shoulders are coming up, even thinking about lifting the shoulder blades off of the glide board and coming to the top of her knees. That's beautiful. A nice even pace, coming up, working down slowly, keeping the tension on the abdomen. This is such a great ab exercise. How's that feel?
Fantastic. I love this exercise.
You are looking so good as you do this, and you'll notice how she's reaching up. Now, if you want to intensify it, maybe not yet, but if you want to, know that you could lift your feet up off the glide board like Rosalie's done right there. Makes it a lot more difficult. You could just lift 1 leg up. Keep on going. That's excellent. How many more?
3 more.
All right. Beautiful.
1 more.
1 more, squeezing all the way up, crunching down, and then go ahead and lengthen back. Take a little stretch for a second, and now bring your elbows down along the side of your body, and we'll go straight into that tricep extension, just flowing from exercise to exercise. One of the things I really love about working out in my Total Gym is that I'm able to stretch as I work out. So you can notice how we go to the lengthened position, but still focus on having great form. How are your triceps feeling, Rosalie?
This is a nice level for triceps.
Beautiful. Now you'll notice that she's keeping her elbows in a constant position so they're not going all over the place, and then she's really squeezing down through those triceps. That's beautiful. You really want to control it. Now remember, if you're doing the cyclotrainer on one level and you decide that you want to make it a little lower for your strength exercises, that's fine, because quality instead of quantity. How many are you at?
3 more.
Okay, come on, go. Last 2, stay strong. We're almost back to our next cyclotrainer circuit.
Yeah.
All right, great. Go ahead and sit up. We're going to just return the handles back to the down position. Come right on back to that bike. And our goal is another 45 seconds. As soon as you can, lift the glide board up away from the base. And are you ready? Let's go. 45 seconds. We really want to focus on just keeping a nice even pedal stroke and working hard. As soon as you're comfortable, you can put your head down and just keep that pedal going round and round. How's that feel?
It's fantastic. I love this way of training. It's so efficient and effective.
Oh, that is excellent. Now, we're going to get this last 30 seconds here, so I want you to really focus. You notice that your muscles might start to feel the burn. If you can stay there, then you go ahead. But if it starts to feel like any pain or just uncomfortable, lower that back down into the bottom position and keep pedaling. How you doing?
Great.
All right, last few seconds. Excellent job. Let's go ahead and stop pedaling, come right back up. Rosalie's gonna take the handles again, and we're gonna go straight into a chest press. So our next exercise is the chest press. If you remember, that's seated at the top, facing forward, and then you're going to bring your feet up onto the glide board, sit up nice and tall, and press straight ahead. You'll notice that Rosalie's posture is gorgeous as she's doing it, so I want you. All right, now that you're familiar with each of the exercises in our starter program, let's do the workout.
Yes, and it's going to be a circuit training workout, which means Rob and I are going to take you from exercise to exercise with a minimal rest period in between. We really want you to maximize the results on this program. We're going to aim for 15 reps on each exercise. Now to get started, make sure you've got your squat stand on, as well as your wing bar attachment.
That's right. Now remember, our goal is 15. If you can do 15 easily, you need to move up. On the other hand, if you find yourself struggling around 10, 12, then go down if you want, or stop there and keep working until you're ready to move up.
Right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's start with squat.
All right, excellent. So if you remember, we're down at the bottom of that glide board. Our feet are up toward the top. You ready?
Ready.
Go ahead and just press up, and let's get started. Coming down and pressing up. Driving up through your heels, extending your legs without locking your knees, and coming right on back.
Right, I always like to actually try and keep my toes very light when I'm doing the squat. So really drive through with your heels. But again, as Rob said, be nice to your knees.
That's it. Now we've got 7 more here, and then we're going to go to a one-leg squat. When you're doing these bilateral squats, we think of this as more as a warm-up exercise, these 2-legged squats. Let's just do 3 more. Last 2. Now on this one, go ahead and take one leg up, and you can either put it on the edge of your glide board, or when we're doing our one-leg squat, you can put it up in the air, whichever is more comfortable for you, and then squatting down and pressing through your heel to extend that leg.
Right, this is a great exercise that works the top of the thigh, that works the hamstrings, and it even works the buttocks. So it's really an exercise that should be part of your regular exercise regime.
That's right. Now this is our last 6. Really focus on keeping the knee right down the middle of the foot, keeping your tailbone lightly into that glide board, and then pressing all the way up. Last 2.
One more.
Last
and
one.
Switch
and
it out.
switch legs, and then just keep on going. Now you remember Rosalie was saying that we want to keep our heart rate up the best that we can too. So we're going to just flow from one exercise to the next. If this is your first time, you might find that you prefer to stop and then start the next exercise. Remember, our goal is 12 to 15 reps. And if you're doing them great, then move up.
Right, and again, it's so easy to move up the bench, and we'll be showing you that later on in the workout. And again, with the single leg squat, you really want to press through with your heel.
Exactly. Now we've just got 3 more on this side to even things out. Make sure you stay even, and then we'll go ahead and press back up and go ahead and come on up. We're going to step up, putting your feet down to stabilize and lower that glide board. Step off to the side and just turn your body around.
All right, we're going to work the upper body now. We're going to do our lat pull. So pull your body up, slowly release down. Are you ready, Rob?
Ready.
Here we go. Make sure you squeeze your shoulder blades at the top of every single movement, and try to keep your head in a neutral position as you pull up and down. So really visualize your shoulder blades coming together at the top. Give it a nice squeeze. You want to keep the pace going, but you want to do that slight pause at the top and at the bottom of each move to maximize the movement.
Excellent. So we're coming up to our last 5 repetitions. You want to really put your elbows down, right down into your rib cage, and squeeze your body up. Last couple, right?
Right, 2 more.
And all the way up to the top.
Last
Excellent.
one.
And then get a nice stretch as you come down. Another great thing about working on the Total Gym is that you work through a full range of motion, stretching at the end of every rep, making sure that you can get that nice feeling in your muscles of just length.
All right, now we're going to work our legs again. So we're sliding our feet through the wing bar attachment. I'll lie down, you go ahead and sit up.
All right, excellent.
And let's start to pull through. This is such a fantastic exercise for the leg. You feel it not only in the quadriceps, but also the hamstrings, the back of the leg. And I'm also feeling a little bit of calf activation as well.
Beautiful. And you notice with me sitting up here, I'm going to really have to engage my core, making sure that I think about my posture as well as using those hamstrings. Now, we have Rosalie lying down on her glide board, still aware of her posture. Last 3.
All right, I'm feeling it.
Good.
2, 1 more.
Beautiful. Now we're going to go ahead and take our feet out of our wing attachment and take the wing attachment off and hook our cable up.
Right, and hooking up the cables, again, it makes it a little bit easier if you slide your bench up. so that you can actually see where the hole goes right onto your hook.
Now, as we're getting our Total Gym hooked up for our cross cable row, I want you just to make sure that if you feel like you need to adjust it for this next exercise, you do that. Now, before we load our body on, you'll notice that we always put our hands down first, fixing that glide board in a single position. We sit down, we cross those cables, and we are ready to go for our cross cable row. This is a great upper back exercise, just pulling up through the mid back, keeping our wrists straight and strong, sitting up nice and tall, really engaging the core as well.
I really love this exercise because it encompasses that nice stretch as you cross the cables. But again, really keep those shoulders relaxed as you pull through. Visualize your neck staying nice and long.
Yes, and again, you really want to think about pulling your arms back, but more than your arms moving back, work from your back first. Have your back, squeeze your arms back with that beautiful posture and really getting into this great exercise.
One more, Rob.
All right, last
Fantastic.
one, squeeze it, hold for a sec. Beautiful, and
That's
lengthen those
great.
arms out. You can put your feet down if you want, separate those handles, and we're ready for our bicep curls.
Love this exercise as well. As you curl up, try to keep your elbows in the exact same spot with every single curl. And again, notice the role that your abdominals play, keeping your body in that nice upright position, because you're not only working your arms, but you're working your abs as well.
That's right, and again, we've got that straight, strong wrist as we do this exercise, and we've got a long neck, so we're not lifting our shoulders up by our ears, but we're staying long through our entire back.
Right, and we're trying to pause at the top and at the bottom of each and every rep to maximize the muscle use.
Excellent, these are our last 3 reps, so let's focus on that bicep and get just a couple more excellent ones. Last one, all the way up and all the way down.
Great.
Beautiful.
Now for this next exercise, we're going to take the height of the bench down. So remember, when doing that, you want to release your safety pin, slide it down a level, and then put your safety pin back.
Now you'll notice that Rosalie and I, for a lot of exercises, work at the same level. For some exercises like this one, I'm actually going to go down a level lower than Rosalie is, and then I'll pull it back up. But even though it looks like we're working at the same level, the intensity is different for each one of us because we weigh a different amount.
That's an excellent point to make, Rob. The Total Gym is based on a percentage of your body weight. Ready?
Ready?
So just press and hold, and press and hold, and press and hold. Now you'll also notice not only are the outer hip and thigh being engaged, but again, those abs are being engaged with every single press.
That's right, and on this one, think about keeping your toes straight up or parallel so that they're in the same level as your support tower as you squeeze your legs out nice and wide, really coming into that outer hip and thigh area, squeezing and then coming back with control. These are our last 2 repetitions right here, so strong out, in with control, out, and right back in. Excellent job. Now our next series is the oblique twist. I'm going to go ahead and bring mine up 1 level, and then you'll notice that Rosalie's got both of the handles together for her. Now, I'm going to take just 1 handle. That's another way to decrease the intensity. With 1 handle, I'm working with a little bit less load than I would be with both handles.
Right, now make sure your buttock cheeks are weighted equally, that your feet are forward, and twist across and give me a slight hold. So pull across. And the way you can make this exercise easier is by bending your arms more, or more challenging by lengthening your arms out in front.
That's right. So you'll notice if I take my arms out real long, it's a little harder to control. Another thing you want to keep in mind is if you're going to work with just one of the cables, that if today I work with the front one, next workout I'll take the back handle and work with that one as I squeeze across with my obliques. This is such a great exercise for all of your court sports like tennis, also if you play golf, but it's also just a great exercise to shape that waistline.
And you know, that's the #1 question us trainers get. Is what's
Excellent
a better
job.
way to work my
Ready
abs?
to transition to the other side?
Definitely.
All right, if you did 1 handle, then go ahead and switch handles. Now, every workout you can do sometimes the front handle and sometimes the back, because you get a little different work in your obliques depending on which handle you grab.
And again, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Remember, with each of the exercises, you should try and fatigue your muscles. So the last few reps should be very challenging for you to complete. If it's too easy, raise the height of your bench. But if you find this too challenging, lower it.
Last 5 right here, sitting up nice and tall, eyes focused on your hands, rotating your entire torso, and just really feel yourself wrap around. Is this the last one? Coming around. Oh, great job. Now we're going to transition to our chest press. I'm going to go ahead and stand up and grab my other handle. You'll notice that Rosalie is just turning her body around. I take both handles, walk back and have a seat at the top of the glide board and get into position. You ready to go?
Now, if you ever feel like you're short on the total gym or your range of motion is not where it should be, you just need to adjust your body. With most exercises, you're either sitting at one end of the bench or the other. Now, with your chest exercise, feel free to change your width. You can go for a narrow press, a medium press, or even a wide press to challenge the muscles differently.
That's right, and you can even press down a little lower or press up a little higher. Each changing the angle and making the way you feel that muscle work a little different with each repetition. How many more you think?
3.
All right.
I'm keeping track.
Good.
And
Last
2 more.
And squeeze your chest. Let's hold this one. Hold. Squeeze your chest. Beautiful. And then bring your arms down and your feet down. You can stretch back for a sec if you want.
Great
and
idea.
then just go ahead and transition, sliding down to the bottom of your glide board, and then roll back onto your glide board. And bring your hands up. Remember, now it's time to support your body weight, so bring those feet up and stretch your arms right on overhead. We're ready for the pullover.
I'm ready. Now I want to remind the women out there, or the gentlemen that have extra long hair, to make sure your ponytail or your hair is tucked in when you're doing this exercise.
That's right, and you'll notice we're having long arms. If you find this difficult, you can either lower the level or you can bend your elbow a little bit, and that'll make that exercise a little bit easier. And just squeeze all the way to the tops of your thighs and come right back with control. One of the things that's really important on this exercise is that you don't feel any pain or tightness in your shoulder. So as your arms go back, it should feel smooth and good. If it starts to feel tight, don't go back any further.
Right, what people need to remember is the exercises stay the same with the total gym, but it's the level of the bench that changes. As you advance, the bench goes higher.
That's right.
All right, we've got 3 more overhead pulls left.
Right, now as you're pulling your arms over, really focus on not pulling your back away from that glide board. Nice posture, lift up and over, and down and back. And then we're gonna go right into a pullover crunch.
Right, here we go, lift and press and hold. Great job. So you're gonna pull over, reach past your knees, slight hold to really activate that abdominal wall. Press and hold, great job. I know you really wanna work your abs, so really focus on this exercise. There's actually studies that show that when you actually think about the muscle you're working, you can actually activate more of the muscle fibers. Now Rob's gone ahead and made the exercise more advanced by lifting your feet off the bench, so you can go ahead and try that as well. With the Total Gym, there's so many great ways that you can make an exercise easier or more challenging by lifting the legs, using one leg, or using both legs. Rob, we've got 3 more left, and hold for 3, and 2, just 1 more crunch, hold this one. Great job. Place your feet back on the bench, relax your head, bend at the elbows, and we're gonna go right into tricep extensions.
Excellent. Now you'll notice here on the tricep extension, we have our elbows down by our sides. You have a lot of choices here. You can keep your elbows by your side. You can actually lift them up a little bit. You can even turn your palms in toward your body. The most important thing is wherever you set your elbows, you keep them there the entire time and squeeze that tricep in the back of your arm.
Right, and if you're an abdominal freak like I am, you want to work those abs as often as you want, you can also lift your feet off the bench, and this will give your abdominals a challenge as well as your triceps.
That's right. Now we've got 5 more here. It's great exercise for shaping the back of that arm, and we all want to make sure the back of our arms look nice and toned. So let's do 3 more, real beautiful.
Squeeze the back of the arm on that extension. 1 more.
Excellent job, good. Now go ahead and bring your hands down by your hips. We'll just use our legs and just pop right on up, sitting up. Then we're gonna just stand up and walk back. Let our glide board just close down at the bottom. Set those handles down and detach the pulley from the top of the glide board by sliding the glide board up. And then just removing that. We set the pulley down, we'll grab our wing attachment and set it down to the bottom of our Total Gym.
Right, you need to remove the squat stand to do that. And you can place it underneath your Total Gym to keep it out of the way. And then the easiest way to attach your wing bar is actually to sit on the bench and slide it away as you place the wing bar into the hole. Once you've got that set up, you want to place your chest on the end of your bench. Hands on the very end of your wing bar attachment and gently press your body up to work your shoulders.
Excellent. So we're just going to go ahead and work our shoulders here. And remember, for any exercise you feel like you want more intensity, just move up. But real important here, you squeeze your elbows toward one another as you press away from that wing attachment. Keep your head down, nice neutral spine.
Right, and we've only got 9 more left of this exercise.
Only 9 more.
Only 9 more.
But with each rep, there's one less. So let's do great ones here, squeezing away, and then coming down with slow control. And really feeling that nice neutral posture as we drive away from the wing attachment and control our body back into it.
Right, we got 2 more.
Beautiful.
And 1 more. Now
Excellent.
to get into this next exercise, it's quite simple. All you have to do is lift your chest up and place your knees near the end of the bench. As you do that, make sure your hand and your shoulder line are in one straight line, and then you're going to gently press your knees away, and then you're going to tuck your knees in. So you're going to push away with the knee and then tuck them in. And if you want to make this even more challenging, I'm going to come up onto my toes, and this advances the movement.
Now this is a great exercise, really using the core for what it was designed for, as our body's armor. This will really help you have better posture and really assist in just having your body support itself with those strong core muscles.
Right, we got 7 more reps of this, and feel free to combine these 2 moves. If you find this advanced move too challenging, or you can only do a few reps, go back into the beginner move. Ready
Excellent.
for 4 more.
All right, and keep in mind as you're doing this exercise that you want to exhale and really breathe as you're pushing your glide board away, and then inhale as it
Last
comes
one.
back in. All right. Ah,
Great job.
great job. So those are the exercises for the starter program. We're going to
Right.
go ahead and stretch out a little bit by taking our pulley and attaching it to the glide board so we can have a nice gravity-assisted stretch here that feels so good. And the really nice thing about working with the Total Gym, though, is with each exercise, you're getting a nice stretch as you're strengthening your body.
Right, and with your stretch, you want to place your buttock near the end of the board so you can extend your legs fully. And then you're just going to slowly let the cables pull your body, leading your chest towards your thighs.
And now you can just feel your body melt into that stretch. Exhale a little bit, releasing from the hamstrings and the back. Feels so good, doesn't it?
It's one of my favorite stretches because I really feel my calves, my hamstrings, my back, and even into my shoulder areas getting a great stretch. And you can actually feel your flexibility increasing, and your goal is to at least try and reach for those toes.
Yeah, and just be here for like 30 seconds if you can, or up to a minute, and really let your body release into that stretch. And now, as we just finish our stretch, oh, it feels so good. I just want you to know that this is just the starter program, but don't think of it as only a starter program. This can last you for as long as you want, because as you get stronger, you're going to keep moving yourself up. And this is just one of many ways to work out on your Total Gym.
Right, the Total Gym will truly grow with you. The stronger you want to get, it'll be there for you. Great workout, Rob.
Great workout. Well, thanks for working out with us. We look forward to working out with you a lot more, so great job. When folding your unit for easy storage, make sure that the center pulley is attached to the top of the glide board. The safety hitch pin is removed from the column, and then take the yellow knob and pull that out so that you can lower the arms all the way down to the bottom. Take the handles, place them over the top of the arms, and make sure that you pull the black knob all the way out. Now you're ready to fold your unit. Taking the column in one hand and grabbing onto the rails, lift up just a little bit, and then you can slowly walk the column toward the squat stand. Just continue to walk it up. Be very careful to make sure that your fingers don't get caught in the rails, and walk it all the way up until you can securely set it down and have the squat stand hold it in place. If you're going to leave it like this for storage, you could easily just wheel it against the wall and let it rest there. If you need to place it under a bed or a piece of furniture, then you can lie it down, take the squat stand off, and place it wherever you need it to be stored. Hopefully you won't be storing it, and you'll be using it and exercising on your Total Gym regularly. Now you're going to step to the opposite side of the squat stand. Bend your knees and come down, get a nice grip underneath, and stand it straight up so that it rests securely on the squat stand. Once you've done that, there's a couple more accessories to move away. So we'll grab the accessory, set it off to the side. Next, you're going to remove the accessories from underneath the glide board, between the glide board and the rails. So take the rails and just open it up a little bit so that you can reach in and grab onto the wing attachment. Take the wing attachment and set it off to the side. And now you're ready to unfold your Total Gym. When unfolding your Total Gym, take the handles and place them over the arm so they're out of your way, and then take the black knob and pull it out. This will allow you to take the column and open it up away from the rails, and you can start to roll the rollers back away from the glide board side with the squat stand, and then just get into a position where you can control it safely, slowly, all the way down. Just going to let it lower all the way down nice and flat. Now that I've got it nice and flat, I'll come back over here and make sure that that black pin snapped back into place. I'll take the handles off of the arm. And now that you've got the column in the upright position, you're going to want to make sure that it's nice and secure. So look down at the black spring-loaded pin. As it came up, you should have heard it click. But just to make sure, you want to see that it's flush and that you can see the tip of it on the opposite side of the rail. Once you've checked that out, you're now ready to move the rails up the column. You'll take the yellow knob, pull it out, place a foot onto the crossbar to keep it flush against the floor, and then just allow it to start to come up until you get to the level that you want to work with. Once you've done that, make sure that the yellow knob is in nice and secure, and then grab your safety hitch pin and take the safety hitch pin on the opposite side of the column and stick it in until it's good and secure. Whenever sitting or exercising on your Total Gym, you always want to make sure that your yellow height adjustment quick release pin and your safety hitch pin are securely in place. Your Total Gym comes with a center pulley attached to the top of the glide board. In order to detach that, move the glide board up about a foot, and then you can release it from the hook underneath the glide board and set it out of your way. If you're going to use the wing attachment, grab the wing attachment and the two long pins. You'll notice that I've already put the bottom foot pads on for use. When I go to place this on, I'll take the long pins, set this up just between the rails, and then run the pin from the outside through the rails until it's securely in place. When setting up your wing attachment, always make sure that it's pointing toward the column when you set it up at the top. Your wing attachment can also be placed at the bottom of your Total Gym. First, I'll remove the pins and take it down there. When putting the wing attachment at the bottom of your Total Gym, you'll want to take the glide board and slide it up the rails so that you can easily expose the holes where you're going to put the wing attachment. You'll take the squat stand and remove it so that it's not in your way. And you're going to place the wing attachment on so that the wings point down toward the bottom of your unit. Once you get it into place, again, you'll take the long cross pins and run them into the wing attachment. Now you're ready to put on your training deck. Let the gliding board slide down to the bottom. Step up and grab your training deck. Walk back toward the column. You'll notice that there's two pins on the bottom, and you just slide those two pins right into the top of your column, and you are good to go. Remember, when you're exercising on your Total Gym, start with the rails at a low level, and as you gain strength, you can move it up and keep the intensity right where you want it to be. Your Total Gym setup is complete. Enjoy training on your Total Gym.